Read it carefully. He was holding back progress and stopping development. He didn't want anything to advance. He didn't allow anything to come to life. He kept everything buried. He didn't allow anything to grow. Why? Because he had a problem. What was his problem? Come on, students. Tell me, what's the problem? Last line. There was no man. Okay. The Bible says God didn't allow anything to grow or progress because there was no man to work the ground. What you see here is God's motivation for the creation of man. I just gave you something you should write down. I'm going to say it again. God himself says he didn't allow anything to grow, anything to develop. He didn't allow anything to progress because he was lacking something. What was he lacking? He said it. He says, I was lacking man, a species that would work the ground. I thought I would help you and do your research for you. And I discovered that the word work that God used here is the word ergon, and it means management. Shocked? Yes, you are. God says, I refuse to let anything grow because I don't have a manager. This verse changed my life. I was a teenager when I understood this verse because I was complaining to God concerning why I was poor. I was living in an island where I still live, 7 miles wide, 20 miles long, living in a wooden house on 4 rocks, sleeping on a dirty wooden floor on a mat. And I became angry at God because my parents took me to church every week, sometimes 3 times a week, and we were still poor. And I said, God, you don't exist. You can't exist. You only like white people. I was serious about it. I was 13. I became angry. And I said, forget all this Sunday school stuff and all this Bible stuff because it ain't working. Teenager. God said something to me as a kid. I'll never forget. God says, I don't make rich people nor poor people. I only make people. Some become rich, some become poor, son, depending on how they manage. That changed my life.
That's good. That's good.
And then I found this verse. 16 years old, I was reading the Bible, and I read this verse. It says, God didn't allow anything to grow, anything to spring up, anything to progress, because he was lacking a manager to manage the earth. So why did God create you? Not to have worship services, not to sing in the choir, not to be an usher. He didn't create you to be no preacher or no pastor, no apostle, no deacon, nothing. He wanted a manager. Sure. Go ahead, stone me, I don't care. I'm giving you the most important message you ever heard in your life. That's why you're struggling from dollar to dollar. You are a bad manager. Take a deep breath. Good. God says, I don't allow anything to grow until I find a manager. Whew. And God actually stops growth where there is no manager. He stops it. Let's take this a step further. Therefore, this verse in the first section of the Bible tells us God's primary assignment for man. It actually tells us that the principal motivation why God created you was because he wanted you to dominate the earth. Okay, we know that in chapter 1. But he says he wants it to happen through management of resources. God created you not because he needed a singer. He didn't need a preacher. You know, people ask me, how did you build an organization from 7 people in your apartment to a global organization affecting over 100 countries? I said, not because I studied theology, but because my master's degree is in business. I run a business. Why? I work for the government. Your primary assignment is God needed a manager. Write this down. The divine goal of mankind is the extension of the culture of heaven on earth. And that requires management. And therefore, the divine strategy of God was for mankind to dominate earth through work. Everybody say work. There was no man to work. Can you imagine? The Creator was held up because he had no manager. There's some things we learn from this very important passage. And that is, number one, God protects his resources from bad management. Number two, God withholds resources from bad management. Number three, God won't allow growth where there is bad management. Number four, God will never answer a prayer requested by anyone who is a bad manager. Can I put it another way? Please write this down. I've come to the conclusion that the principal key of kingdom on earth given to mankind by God is this: management. Say it. Management. Say it again. Management. Now, I know some of you are having problems with me right now because you are so religious you never heard this word in a church meeting. And that's why you lost your house. That's why you're working for someone else all the time. That's why you can't pay your bills, because you never heard this word in church, and it shows up in the Bible in the first chapter.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Religion is a killer. It destroys, because it takes away the very thing you need the most: management. Let me tell you something. Management demands work. Yes, sir. And religion makes you lazy. Yes, sir. This is why Christians love miracles above management. Yes. Management. Oh, Lord, let me don't touch that. Miracles cancel management.
Yes.
Some of you think God likes miracles. He does not. Miracles destroy the principle of management. Miracles are like the lottery. You gain without effort.
Wow.
That's why I hate gambling. Gambling is an attempt for you to gain without work.
Yes. Yes.
Why don't you get quiet on me now? I'm going to walk down there and prophesy. I discern that you buy lottery. Don't get me mad. I'll call your name tonight. All right now. Yeah, lottery is ungodly because it cancels work. Take a deep breath. Everybody say management. Management. Say it loud. Management. One more time. Management. So you came here to learn how to make money tonight. And that's your problem.
You see?
Money runs from the one who pursues it, the Bible says.
It's good.
Money is attracted to management. I'm going to prove that in a minute from the Bible. Everything I'm saying, it took me 30 years to prepare for this.